You've called China the most dangerous near-peer adversary the U.S. has faced.
Ever.
So we need concrete steps to face off with them, who clearly are building up their military to face off with us, as sophisticated as possible. What is your plan? And they have told us by 2027 they're taking Taiwan.
Well, there's
daily incursions. What could you do about it? How committed are you and the President of the United States to defending Taiwan?
There's three things we have to do when it comes to... Look, China's going to be a rich and powerful country. No matter what we do, that's what we're going to have to deal with that. But we have to deal with the reality. What we cannot have is a world where China is so powerful we depend on them. And that's right now where we're headed, unfortunately. That's going to change. It's going to change under President Trump. Number one is we have to have our own domestic capability. If you don't want to depend on China, you better be able to make it for yourself. And we've allowed way too many industries to fall into the hands of the Chinese. Everything from rare earth minerals to pharmaceuticals. We have to have a domestic capacity, and it's one of the ideas behind the tariffs that the president is pursuing writ large. That's why people say, well, only put tariffs on China. Well, that's not enough, because China has factories in other countries all over the world, and they flood us with those products. So we have to have our own domestic capacity. Number two is we have to be present. In the Indo-Pacific, they're trying to drive us out. We have a strong relationship. We are a Pacific nation. We are. And so we have relationships in the Pacific, and we're not going to abandon those. Japan, South Korea. You mentioned Taiwan. We have a long-standing position on Taiwan that we're not going to abandon. And that is we are against any forced, compelled, coercive change in the status of Taiwan. That's been our position since the late 1970s, and that continues to be our position, and that's not going to change. And then the third is, and it's outside the purview of this Department of State, but we have to have military capabilities that allow us to respond to the threat that China is posing, and we need to be concerned. We have our aircraft manufacturing, our ship manufacturers. They are not keeping pace. China can build 10 ships before we can build one. That's a very serious vulnerability that cannot continue, and obviously I know Pete has a plan for that, and the President has a plan for that, and they're working on it.